My fellow Tropicans, I have some information for you. If you've been searching around for the brand new update that just came live, well, I got it. Unfortunately, it wasn't really widespread out there on the internet, but I kept digging deeper until I ended up going into the digital realm. So let's go ahead and jump into my PlayStation 4, and I'll show you what's up for as far as the changes and the general bugs that have been fixed for as far as the DLCs and a lot of the general gameplay performance and what's going down if you're being stuck in a bus going on down the bottom of the list. But with starting in the situation where we're at is, my name's Mac here at the MacGyver7 channel, and today we're going to be covering the game related news of Tropico. As I interluded in the very beginning of this, you can see that Tropico's issues have become more of an issue of getting on the bus. As you can see, the bus stops due to the bus driver also waiting for the bus, so that could possibly make a very big issue when you come down to where it is going down to the gameplay. If the fixed issue also comes down to where the bus is getting stuck, if the bus were demolished, so that's also another issue that they addressed. Looking at the fixed issues where the security checkpoints in the work mode, the road toll would not generate the money and the privacy rights, and the construction option was active. Also, the addressed issues in the changing in the era did not stop the invasions from superpowers that should be able to be addressed inside of this patch. Global happiness and the modifiers were not being showed in difficult portions within the different effects had no impacts on that situation. Looking at the issue where the triggered election even when the material law addict was active, so you could have a little bit of more bug fixes. Let's go ahead and dive down, see what else we can get. Another ultimatum that meets the list, so it is now affected the pollution as described. In the demolish the building still shown inside of the almanac. On top of that, the demolished buildings under the protest could lead to struck situations within your Tropicans. Looking at the protests, also they continue even when it would not end after the military solution was inactive. Now it's still active, which should be fixed right now at this point in time for as far as making them more passive again. Now looking at for as far as the triggered by the audience inside of the portion would not show the task in the tracker, now should be tracking. And the light bulb ban, you did not affect the residential buildings. This has now been affected now for as far as the happiness in the Caribbean and the trade in the past act of the described portions of the overtime is now indicated. Now looking at the tour offices and the work modes did not affect the efficiency and the correct. We're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit farther to see that that would have been affecting the situation for as far as the detained prisoners without availability within the worker slot. Now inside the situation where we have the Tropicans refuse to work as the coconut harvesters, and as the situation as the broker candidates inside of the ministry would continue to generate Swiss money even after demolishing the ministry. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that's like free money. That's kind of cool, actually. That's a cool bug. Why did you fix that? But anyways, moving on. Fix an issue for as far as all tourists inside there had the same ball game on the situation. That bug has been addressed. And the raid that could not be completed due to the agents being killed in the action. Tropico also experienced an issue with the Tropicans may marry themselves. Apparently that would get them some double down money. Going down on the situation for as far as where the Tropicans got their bailout, after loading the saved portion in the save super mall, the multi-instance were the same goods, so you couldn't really hopefully had a refresh, but that should be something addressed. The fixed issues were the relative happiness and the modifier in the agents menu all also displayed 0, which is not good. Coming down to the very bottom portion of the general fixes for the single player before we dive into the multiplayer, you can see that the fixed issues with the tunnels with getting stock and the situation of the repair state. Also in the fixed tunnels, construction and the cost were not refunded even if the construction was canceled, which is a bummer. That was a deficit that you didn't want to deal with. Then you're looking at your bureaucrats and all the progress inside of the bridges. For Asars would be showing as a street sitting on top of the water, so it's like, unfortunately, it just didn't work when it came down to telling your government what to do and building something. But it does work now. Yay. Looking at past that situation, you can see the minor glitches that occurred during the pacing roads, as well as the misleading descriptions on the towers, the multiple crashes, the graphics inside the glitches, and the several text issues that came into it. So let's dive into multiplayer before making our way down to the DLC fixes that they added right inside of there. Now I wish I could copy and paste a lot of this stuff over. This would take a really long time. That's why I'm just doing a video editorial run through of what the patch notes are. So looking at the multiplayer fixes as they go, or the looks like the diplomatic resolutions for as far as the status would be displayed differently in the players and the host. Looking at the freighters available on the arrival time would display 0 days, and as far as the diplomatic interactions would not appear for the players. The tourist only buildings would not work on the players. Smear campaigns effects wasn't visible for the Omniac. On top of the landmarks could not be delivered twice. El Presidente in the images in the inspiring billboard was missing for the players. No, El Presidente, don't tell me they missed out. That's almost patriotic. Anyways, moving on. Looking at the fix issues, that drought icon and the notifications were not being shown for the players. And coming down to the very tail end of this mix for the Llama Wall Street DLC, for as far as that, it's bonkers, but it's cool. Looking at the added warning messages to save the games in which the DLC content would become unavailable. Fixed an issue where the toy workshop upgrading a set sign, increasing the pollution instead of decreasing it. That sucks. On top of there, pollute and get more money. No, you're supposed to pollute less and hopefully get more money. Set signs, you know, come on. On top of the fixed issues where the Caribbean hype didn't match the description on the side of the text, and the singularity where the workers were the hiring inside of the locked work slot. That is 1.0 of Tropico 6. You can always like, share, and subscribe if you're brand new to the network. And if you subscribe today, who knows? Maybe I'll become the next El Presidente. That'd be kind of funny, right? I'll play that trump card. Oh! Anyways, all subscription humor aside, thank you very much for staying tuned and watching this nice game-related patch notes update. And I'll see you guys and gals in the near future for more Tropico-related news. Thank you so much, and see you later, guys and gals.